Hi there, and welcome to the Tové Tabloid. I'm Tové Kane. It's a great pleasure to welcome Ryan McConnell, who's here. Ryan, we met a short while ago in the middle of lockdown. I was on a walk on the towpath that goes through Newtownabbey and Jordanstown, etc., towards Hazelbank, and I discovered these incredible positive statements that actually brought a tear to my eye. The reason is many people are suffering with mental health, Ryan, and those messages were so affirming. It was a great mystery. We put it out on Instagram, on Facebook, etc., to find who was the mystery person, and it was you. It is so lovely. So we followed that up with a brief meeting at Hazelbank. And here we are again, just to follow up and see how are things going. Now, just give us some background, Ryan. I know you're a care worker. Give us some more information, just so we can meet the person behind these amazing signs.
Yes, I'm a care worker, but I got into care working because of my mum who took cancer. And at the start, I had to take a year out of the job that I was doing to look after her. And that involved obviously a lot of what care work does. And I found that I really enjoyed that. And if I found that I really enjoyed it for my mum, I thought, why not? Why not use that as a career path? Because I do like helping people. So I went about it, got into care work. And I love it. I really do love it. And you meet some amazing people doing the job as well.
Well, I know that your mum had some chemotherapy this week. How is she doing? How is she feeling at the moment?
She's doing well. She's very tired. It's a new treatment, so she's a bit sick. She was a bit sick at the start, and we had to get her sickness tablets changed. But they seem to be working now, so she's sitting downstairs with a cup of coffee in front of the TV.
Now, I love the way the two of you have encountered this situation, because you haven't been too sad or serious. You've actually brought in a sense of humor about it. I like the T-shirt that's got a bit of a bit of a swear word happening about what you think about cancer. Yeah. But it's not a bad approach, isn't it?
I think laugh on your way. Like, you can't take it too serious because it's a horrible illness, and it takes away a lot as it is without you letting it take away any more than what it already does. So we've always, from my mum first got sick, my mum's attitude from the word go was, I'm going to beat this. There was tears, there was sad moments and down moments, but we know that we'll have each other and we'll have great people around me. I've got good friends, she's got good friends. The people around you make a hell of a difference. But yeah, I don't really mention the word cancer either, because I don't like to give it much attention, to be quite honest.
That's true. A lot of people say that the naming of a thing and also making it too personal, it's my something, that also has a way of attaching something to you, that perhaps you're giving it too much power. But Ryan, you've had your own struggles. You've had your own issues with health, mental health specifically.
Yeah, I've had a real bad struggle with depression from late school years. It did get to the point where I did think about ending. I ended up on a bridge and had to be talked out of it by two police officers, and they had the same from my dad. But I bring a lot of light to depression, especially because of what's going on now, especially with COVID. Like, it's more important now than what it ever was, and it's great to wear your masks and do everything to keep yourself safe with COVID. But on the other side, there's the mental health side of that is massive as well, because there's people out of work, there's people not going, there's people worrying about their jobs. So mental health was a big issue before all of this. It's 10 times worse now.
I think you're so right, Ryan. And the fact is, it's affecting everybody. People who always assumed they had control, or that they were high flying or had happy lives, are discovering that it takes effort to really gather yourself mentally, physically, in every which way, to just stay active these days in life, participating. Of course, we're all so glad that you have chosen life. And of course, what your messages, how I interpreted your messages that you put up for everybody else, is that it's a daily choice. You don't take it for granted, that you show up each day at the after effect of a choice that you make to be there.
Yeah, I still have very bad days, and my fiance, my friends will tell you that. I mean, my Facebook, I never stop banging on about mental health, and one of the main reasons is whenever I'm having a bad day, I'll try and post something positive on Facebook. I'll try and post something positive on Instagram. I've started doing obviously the signs. I'm doing leaflets now, but I don't want somebody to be sitting in the situation that I was, where I thought I had nobody. Because realistically, when I opened up about my depression, my struggles, I had everybody. There was a hell of a lot of people around me waiting for, and that's a regret. And I want to help people that are in that situation now that don't, because I waited 5 to 6 years before I opened up about mine. And I want people that are in that same situation just to speak. It does not make you any less of a person, especially for men. It doesn't make you any less of a man to admit that you're struggling. Your friend, I can guarantee your friends would rather, and it's a quote that I love, I would rather listen to your problems and sit and listen to your story at a funeral.
Yeah, I think you're so right with that. And we know that more than 300 people worldwide are suffering with depression. And that is the true pandemic, isn't it? That was the pandemic before COVID-19. What is your advice to somebody who, like you, is feeling like they are isolated, that they're all alone, and they don't know what can they do in the moment when it gets bad?
Open up. The best advice: open up to anybody. I opened up to my mum and dad first. Obviously, after what happened, I had to tell my mum and dad what was going on. But then I had friends that I had lost contact with from whenever high school ended, and whenever I opened up to them, and they just welcomed me back as if I had never been away. I just advise people to speak up. Really, it is fine to talk. It really is.
I think that is so valuable. And of course, it is just that straight up opportunity. I'm going through some stuff, because the new reality of the unreality, in other words, people posting images, selfies, etc., where they are in this high degree of editing their lives to appear so wonderful, and it's just too much pressure. People don't have that kind of experience of life. In fact, it's about the challenges. I often think it's not about wanting plain sailing, but about being able to handle it when you A, don't have wind to move, or B, if the sea is stormy. You want to just have the capacity to handle what's going on. But I think also, Ryan, perhaps you agree with this, we can't allow our mental capacity to be too defined by what's going on outside. We can't keep being affected by what's going on. We really have to try to gain control of our thoughts and our thinking pattern.
Yeah, because that's whenever I went to counselling, that's something I learned in counselling, that life, it's not plain sailing as much as we want it to be. It's never going to be plain sailing. You're going to get bad days. You're going to have someone maybe dies on you. You're going to have grief. You're going to break up in a relationship. All these things bring hurt and pain, but it's normal pain, and people need to realize that them things are normal. It's perfectly okay to feel. It's perfectly okay to feel sad. You know what I mean? It's perfectly okay to feel happy. Then it's perfectly okay to feel sad.
Yeah. I like that very much. I think to a large extent, people decide that certain emotions if you had a rainbow of emotions, they would think that only certain colors were worthwhile, and they would try to say what they perceive as the negative emotions, they want to numb those down. But of course, we always get the full color, don't we? And when we analyze a spectrum anyway, we see that there are black lines in the spectrum, and those are the black marks that we kind of have to get through, aren't they? They're the moments when things get tough. So you mentioned that you've got some more flyers happening. What's next? Where are you going with this? Because I admire it greatly, and I love your statements. I think they're lovely.
I've got the flyers obviously to give out, and then I've spoken to my friends about doing a sponsored walk, and it's either going to be, well, the money raised is going to be half towards the breast cancer awareness and half towards mental health services. And then another girl that's seen my posts at Hazelbank is going to help me set up a Facebook, and I have a lot of plans around that, where I want to do these videos with normal people, just to open up, just to talk about their own personal struggles and their own mental health, just to get people, anybody, if it helps one person, then it'll be worth it.
Absolutely. How can people get in touch with you, Ryan?
Facebook, I have an Instagram called Darkness to Light, and I would post like quotes on it on my normal Facebook. I post anybody's probably sick listening to me. Post mental health quotes constantly on there and Instagram. So I'm happy enough to talk to anybody if I can help them.
I think that's wonderful. Do you have one statement that resonates more than the others for you? One that is when it gets tight for you, is there one that you can lean on more regularly than others?
Well, the one whenever I opened up to my mum and dad about it, my mum always said the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step, and that is 100% accurate.
Well, I'm so relieved that you are still on your journey. I'm delighted that you are bringing other people along with you, and that you are making the journey for other people so much more possible. And you've brought an enormous amount of love and compassion to complete strangers who read your signs, and you changed their lives. Can you believe that boy who was considering where he was on the brink, life, death, was one of those, and you are actually contributing to the betterment of life for so many other people? It's amazing.
It means a lot to me. Even whenever I was putting, as I said, when I was putting the signs up, people were stopping me, telling me their own struggles, people who had lost people to suicide, and that meant a hell of a lot to me, that these people were stopping me and saying, great job, like, yeah.
Well, it is a great job. It's such a pleasure to talk to you, Ryan. Thank you for seeing us here on Zoom. Obviously, with the lockdown, we can't meet in person. But any time that I'm able to catch up with you again, I look forward to it. And be kind to yourself and those around you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.